It's been a case for me, so I'm going to speak for me, okay? And I will put myself in the category of at least 25% of you guys and girls that are listening. There may be you guys and girls that can just hit a diet and you'll lose weight and it will just stay off and you'll be a-okay. But for many of us, you do need something else in your toolbox. And that is exercise. Continue, consistent exercise. Now you get to see the importance of exercise or going to the gym or whatever you're doing with regards to alongside your diet plan. So many people profess that diet is the main key attribute to what they focus on when they're losing weight, and it's the main key attribute to losing weight. To be really realistic, unless you're truly obese and you've been obese for a long period of time, it's very easy to say that. There's a lot of doctors that say it. There's a lot of people that are already they might be overweight or already thin or whatever, and they will say that. I've been obese on and off for a big period of time, for about 20 years of my life, and I've gone up and down, up and down. And it's been a case for me, so I'm going to speak for me, okay? And I will put myself in the category of at least 25% of you guys and girls that are listening. There may be you guys and girls that can just hit a diet and you'll lose weight and it will just stay off and you'll be a-okay. But for many of us, you do need something else in your toolbox. And that is exercise. Continue, consistent exercise that is basically pushing you where you get to a point where you feel exerted. You don't have to be shredded with sweat and everything else, but you need to be breathing heavy and feeling like you've done some kind of workout. Okay? Now the reason why I am emphatic about this, because there's several things, but there's one main reason why. Because if you don't exercise and you just build your life around what you're doing, when you get to an older age or you get to a time in your life when you're not able to do what you're doing currently, it could be to do with work, could be to do with some kind of social activity or whatever, and it comes out and it's taken out, you haven't built nothing around some form of exercise, some daily exercise where you're working towards that. Our bodies were created to be moved and to be mobile on a regular basis. Okay? No one can. If you want to argue with that, then you might as well argue with creation at the end of the day. We've all been created to be mobile and to move. So the more static we become, the more it's going to impede on us later on in our later years, because your bones and your tendons will become stiff and become aggravated by little bits of movement, and obviously at the end of the day you can end up to a point where you can't move. That's why there's so many people in those wheeler things. There's so many people in those things that just take them from A to B because they become immobile. And I'm talking to many of you guys and girls that if you hit an age and you're still at the size that you're at right now, okay, or near to this size that you're at right now, which will unfortunately happen to some of us. It's a fact. If you're not mobile and you finally get the gumption to say, you know what, I'm going to crack the code, I'm just had enough of this, you're going to be so impeded by your bones aching and your muscle tendons being all just so just molded to stiffness that you won't even be able to do anything about it anyway, okay? And then, or there's many people out there, and I know this for a fact, there's many guys out there who take steroids, who are roided up, fake natty, all stiffed up and everything else, and they look the business. But when it comes to cardio, being able to move around and everything else, they can't do it. They can't move around in any shape or form. I've seen documentaries on it and everything. Men my age, men slightly younger and everything else, they've got the physique, but they're not able to move around fully to the extent where they want to be able to move around because their cardio is shot to bits. So then yet again, you're another situation waiting to happen. Okay? Do not look to try to lose weight to have a kind of physique and a facade of looking healthy and feeling healthy, but when you have to run for a bus, run for a train, run for a plane, or run for something, you cannot run. You're not able to do anything. And if you do, you're completely shot and out of breath. Okay? You was not put on this earth to be made and to feel like that. You was to put on this earth to be to feel and made to feel basically energized. You want to be eating food that energizes you, that stimulates your energy and your endorphins in your body at the end of the day. And that's what exercise and food put together does. Combine those two elements together. The longer you mess around and you play games with, I'm just going to focus on this aspect of my life, or I'm going to focus on this aspect of my life, and you keep missing out those core elements, and then the third element being nutrition and what you're putting into your mouth and everything else. So you've got basically diet plan and everything else. Then you've obviously got exercise plan and everything else. And then you've got nutrition, beginning to understand what food does, what those chemicals can do in your bodies in regards to do with man-made, basically processed, products and foods that have been tampered with. It's a case of getting basically holistic with this form of things. Because one thing I understand at the end of the day, if you choose not to do nothing or choose not to look at it now, there will be a time when you will have to look at it. Okay? So that can happen to me as well. I'm not stupid. I know that. But if it does happen to me, I'm further down the road to know what I can and cannot do, and not have to be just told from a trained doctor that isn't trained to do with things like nutrition, or trained to do with things to do with exercise to the extent. Because when you look at when you go to your GP or a doctor, they've got a whole big approach and everything else, and sometimes they can be tunnel vision in regards to do with their things that they tell you, and then you have to research and find out for yourself. So start researching and finding out for yourself now. And why don't you start researching and finding out for yourself now what your body can and can't do, and start developing yourself and strengthening yourself. It's never too late. It's only too late when you're told it's too late. Have you been told that yet? Have you been told by a GP you need a miracle? Because if not, you don't need nothing but yourself to get up off your butt and start doing something. Okay? I'm not shouting at you. I'm not shouting to you. I'm speaking loudly in a way that hopefully I can crack something that has been impeding and holding you back. Okay? I salute you. I thank you for taking the time. If I'm just ticking you off, I apologize. It's called basically tough love. If you don't want tough love, you want to be in a cotton wool, this is the wrong channel. This is for people that have had enough. You might remember this at the end of the day and think that guy ticked me off. And you come back to the channel 6 months time and I've lost more weight and everything else. My life has changed. And then I'm talking about physique or changing these elements of your life and everything else. And you can think, wow, that guy, he just kept on keeping on, keeping on. Alright, so until next time, please subscribe, like, comment below, and keep watching this. Speak to you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.